And we are live!
I
Welcome to
love
the
men.
Dungeon Initiative. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Hugh just finally came out to us today, so this is pretty
Yep.
awesome. I think this is bigger than Ben Affleck's kid coming out. So Hugh, go ahead, tell everybody.
So
Look
Fen
at
is now my
Fed's
boyfriend.
face.
Oh,
The setup is there, and he completed
I
it.
can't wait to get dominated.
Roll a d20.
Look at that smile. He's happy too.
Roll a d20.
His one and only
Oh
friend.
God. Which one?
Hugh and Fen,
Both.
friends for life.
Oh God.
Friends.
The friends for the next 1 minute.
They'll be together in the
What the
finale
fuck?
too.
There's gonna be a wedding at the end, and it's gonna be Fen and you.
Oh my god. The plot twist of the century. No one expected that.
And
Zoe
then
didn't
fucking
expect that.
And throws you across the goddamn wedding reception. Just
I
fucking
rolled a
fucks him.
motherfucking 19.
That motherfucker is gone.
Alright, guys. Well, we're back to our Dungeons and Dragons night. Hope you guys all had a pretty good week.
Yeah.
I don't have anything specific to bring up. Is there anything that you guys have questions about, or anything that we need to bring up before we begin?
Well,
Why does my ass hurt?
oh, there's that.
That reminds me, I gotta add a note.
No, wait.
Anyways, all I was gonna say was
Okay.
Yeah, we highly recommend it. If you have an Amazon account or can hang out with somebody who has an Amazon account, this is an unofficial sponsorship for Amazon Prime. Please watch Fallout series. It's really good.
You got the Fallout series. You got, if you want to go full, like, fantasy noir, you got Carnival Row, which is surprisingly really good.
I heard that was pretty good. Like, okay.
Yeah,
It's
I got
okay.
into the first
Twisted
season of it.
Metal.
Like, oh, cool. There's satyrs, there's fairies.
No way
There's
this man just
violence.
said Twisted Metal.
Dude, fuck you. Twisted Metal is fucking great. Uninstall yourself. Don't talk to me.
Yeah, alright, we're gonna have to stream it on Discord so we can see it.
Dude, I remember being a kid with my dad. I played Twisted Metal Black in the
It
PS2.
doesn't
I
reflect
own
on
that.
the Okay, then we're not doing this. We're not doing
No,
this.
listen to
Listen,
me.
we need
Listen
a
to
movie
me.
talk and a Showtime talk another time. This is D&D time, and that's what the viewers are here to see. Even if it is just one person.
What about Sweetwater? Huh?
He's pretty cool in the games. In the show, I hear he's trash.
Exactly. No, he's funny as shit.
He kind of looks like
But,
Fen.
yeah. I don't know if that's a compliment or a roast.
No,
I'm too
I mean,
afraid
like,
to ask.
could be both.
But both.
Alright, guys. When we previously left off, everybody was pretty scattered again. Fenrir, you met with a goddess who sat with you and enjoyed the evening with a glass of wine. That was
Yeah,
pleasant.
what happened there? What was my the rest of my evening there with that?
I don't know, you tell us.
It turned into a sexual tension fantasy.
I left.
Oh.
Listen. It's kind of like when I close the door on certain scenarios. You know, we cut out. Like we leave it between you and the NPC. You know, you let me know like later. Did you want something to happen? I figured in a cinematic type of way, Fen would just enjoy a good evening with what
Yes.
is, a god essentially. It's like, this is cool.
He would have asked questions like, "What the hell are you doing down here?"
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just, we didn't have to delve too much because she was more fascinated in you. So it was like,
Dude.
tell me about, like, what it's like to be down here, what it's like to be a Beast King, that sort of thing. And we've kind of heard your background, your story, and we don't need to role play all of that all over again. I don't know if you were, like, interested in, like, pursuing anything with that, but that's why I ended it the way I did.
He probably would have asked if that was really the behemoth that was there in the court.
The behemoth?
Yeah, like behemoth, like the one Beast King that he's like heard the stories about that existed so many years ago.
In the courtroom, though?
Yeah, because he was observant, and then you had a character who was kind of like mass and size, kind of like acknowledged Fenrir for an instant when it came to that, and he was just like, "That's very observant of you."
Oh, you're talking all the way back, like when you
all the
were
way
seeing the
back.
gods. We always have to
Yeah.
remember that a lot of that stuff happened before the live, so we kind of have to like blend that into a way that like kind of works with the audience too. So essentially, looking back on that, she probably would have just said no, or she would have said yes. That is one of the remaining ones. As far as the depth of that conversation goes, I would say because no one else knows about where it went, I would say me and you can have a dialogue discourse after. Because again, I wasn't intentionally like trying to make it like a flirtatious move. You know, it was just her as a
No.
character, as this goddess being interested in mortals, which I always find to be fascinating.
That's always like an interesting subject too.
Yeah. But we are cutting in to a dark chamber where Zoe is currently face to face with Lord Vecna.
1 second.
Where's Zoe?
Zoe, get your
She's
ass over here.
finishing dinner.
Oh, damn. So,
Take the phone to her.
damn. We gotta do a thing. We gotta do a thing. We can start from another point of view, maybe.
That's huge.
No, we'll get to Hugh. We'll get to Hugh.
The incubus showed up. No, it's
No, I got something.
Hands were fucking thrown. I'm beating everybody's ass that comes with that goddamn cell. Godfrey comes down, ass beat.
I guess we'll get to this part already. So we cut to an early morning then. The sun slowly rising over the fields, the long, tall, green trees outstretched before you and Ona Eddard.
Oh,
Ona is just kind of like half asleep, and you can tell that she's like itching for a nap. And you
So we
guys,
kind of just been traveling all night.
I don't think you guys took anyone else with you. You guys just kind of ventured
It
together.
was me, Ona, and Brian decided to come
Okay.
alone.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. That's the.
What do you mean, Goblin?
Yeah. I still think Brian is so funny to call a goblin.
But looking at Ona, she's kind of doing one of these, just half asleep. Goblin is literally asleep while walking, just behind you.
Okay. I was kind of grab both of them and start steering them towards like a tree, like off. Like you said, there was a clearing there.
Not necessarily like an open clear, like you have a large like a field, but it has a bunch of like trees kind of scattered out through it. And
Okay, yeah, I'll just
the
kinda grab
further
them
south
both.
that you guys are going, the thicker that this brush is becoming.
Okay, I'll just kind of grab them both, kind of pull them towards like the tree line there.
No,
Just kinda,
no, please, Kato, not now.
okay, just sit down there.
Wakes up. What are you doing?
You're sleepwalking, so you both need your rest.
I was sleepwalking?
Yeah, and you're saying stuff about Kato that I don't think I ever need to hear again.
Oh. Even the one part? And he looks at
Especially
you like with
one
a
part.
horrified expression.
Especially the one part.
Oh, okay. Starts getting out his
Plus,
things.
Ennard had like a horrified look on his face.
Brian starts to like take the bedroll out, lay out a little spot for himself. Ona's just like, we gotta find them.
Well, you both need your rest right now. I'm unrolling a bedroll there for her to lay down on.
She struggles a little bit, but lays down and just kind of immediately goes to sleep.
I'll just give you guys a couple hours and then we'll get going again. Kind of looking around, do I see anything that looks like signs of them possibly have gone through here already, or?
Make a perception check.
Cool.
So I rolled a 10. Was that with advantage or no? Was it just making sure?
Why would you have advantage?
Because I know the animals.
Are you using your senses and stuff like that?
Well, yeah, I would also try to sniff them. See if I can get their scent.
Roll with advantage.
I just rolled the thing. Okay, that's a little better.
So 17 on the second roll.
Okay. So yeah, with a 17, kind of like surveying the area, I assume you kind of step away from Goblin and Ona a little bit.
Yeah.
You see, like, again, like, further south, it is getting thicker with all the tree counts. But near, like, the middle ground, I would say about 50 feet away from you, you can see that there's someone, like, hunched over next to a rock, and they seem to be, like, working on something.
What do they look like?
Well, they're dressed in what looks like a bunch of leathers and furs. You can see that there's a pile of like other leathers and furs, seemingly like a larger coat, thrown off to the side with a bunch of other equipment. Looks like pots, pans, weaponry, and stuff like that. That's about 5 feet away from him, so like not too far off. But they seemingly are very large, bulky looking, very muscular arms.
No, sense anything else around Ona or Goblin at all?
Not currently that you can see.
Okay. I kind of just like cautiously approach and just kind of call out like, "Excuse me."
The figure kind of like freezes and like turns on the spot towards you, and you see that like looks like a human man. Very tan looking skin, looks like he's been sunburnt a little bit, kind of reddish in some places. Half of his face looks normal. You can see like a white, not a white beard, uh, like a yellowish beard kind of growing in, and then the other half is kind of graying out. And then he seems to have like this large growth on his forehead, and he's kind of looking at you from squinting eyes, and just takes you in, looks over at his gear, and then right
I have
back
my
at you.
hands up. It's like, don't mean to interrupt your morning. Just I was hoping that you might be able to help me out with something.
He like stands up and slowly starts to move towards his gear.
I just gotta stop right there. If you don't want me to talk to you or anything, that's fine. I just thought I'd ask a question. You can point or nod your head if you can.
Put it on the shelf.
Okay?
Make a perception check. Make a persuasion check on that one. Make it with disadvantage. Yeah. Only because you're not sure if you're communicating well with them.
So lowest was a 13.
There's a 13? Yeah, go ahead and make, let's see, a dexterity saving throw.
So now I have like stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, it doesn't work.
Yeah, it's a natural one.
Your like alertness kind of tells you if something's springing up on you or anything like that, right? It doesn't exactly give away if something's hidden.
I think if it's about 5 feet from me, I can instantly tell it's there.
Okay.
Basically, I think.
Okay. So and you got what for your roll?
One.
One.
Let me double check the thing real quick. Talking about for the alert feed.
Mm-hmm.
Can't be surprised. Other creatures don't gain advantage.
Yeah, so I can't be surprised at all, and they don't have advantage on me.
Okay. So just normal attack. They hit you with an or not necessarily they wouldn't hit you, but I guess it's your deck save. You see them coming. So what's your armor class right now? Because I would nullify it if you're just immediately aware. Then it would just be a normal attack.
19.
Yeah. So like you see that a similarly dressed assailant leaps from the tree to your right, and when they land, you would think they would break their ankles, like a normal person. But they land, and the ground kind of shakes a little bit under their feet. And then they raise their two weapons, and they come at you, and you just, like, dodge left and right from them. Another assailant jumps from the tree. And that's going to be a miss. 22 to hit on that one. I'm going to miss 6 points of damage on that hit. So the assailants that are currently facing you now, they're standing like one to your left, one to your right. They're both women with their hair tied back. Also similar in the color pattern he has, where they're like blonde, but they also have a bit of gray going through them, and they as well have like odd deformities or like square chins that don't seem like right for their body shapes. They just seem like oddly clad people. But they do seem very formidable to you. Looking over their like appearance, like they're strong. They start to communicate and like shout to one another, and you can't really understand what they're saying unless you have some way of like interpreting languages or anything like that.
I mean, by chance, do any of the languages happen to be giant, infernal, or celestial?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Nope. You thought this would be easy.
No, it was just a question.
Oh no, I'm kidding.
What does it sound like?
It almost sounds like a cross between giant and I would say. Do you like speak celestial? Or no, not celestial, draconic.
No.
So none of those
But I
languages.
do catch like giant there.
You could try to do insight with disadvantage.
Hit him with universal greeting. Ba we grana we ninibon.
Disadvantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
If only Fenrir was there to listen. I know giant and draconic.
What's up?
14? Wait, no.
Yeah, with the 14, you can't necessarily make out what they're saying. Like there's like some interpretation you're making, and like with the interpretation, you're just getting the idea that they're not entirely sure what to do. But the one that you had first seen, he like picks up his blade from his gear and like raises it up and shouts something to them that has them like turn their blades back at you. Go ahead and roll initiative. Oh no.
14.
A 14. Eddard, you have initiative. You have a target on your left and a target on your right. What are you doing?
Oh, I go first.
Mm-hmm.
So since I did kind of pick up giant in their language, I'm gonna try to communicate a little bit, I guess, before doing anything.
So make a like charisma check. Or are you trying to persuade? Then use persuasion, whichever stat would be better.
Okay, I'll do persuasion.
Okay, that actually might work.
22. I'm just kind of trying to speak in giant, but like not too fast, so that way they can probably catch some words there. Just like, not a threat, not here to attack anyone. Just everyone calm down.
That seems to kind of like get them to like stand back a little bit, and they're like watching you, like looking around their surroundings. The other guy, he starts shouting, and you can tell he's like really pissed off, and he's just like, rah, rah. And like the women, and then you also catch like a shadow cast over your heads,
Do I recognize the shadow?
and you hear the and the guy, he looks up, shouts out like some sort of like curse, and all of a sudden you see Queenie laying down on top of him, shred him across the rocks and stone on the ground, and like start picking at him. And atop of her back, you see that there is what looks to be a woman clad in metallic silver armor, very reflective of the sunlight. Her blade in her right arm, raised over her head, seems to glow in multicolors with gems inlaid into the handle.
On Queenie?
Mm-hmm.
Who is this bitch?
Bro, if you can see his face, he looks so offended. He's like, on Queenie?
I was like, Queenie, stop!
Is that your turn?
Yeah, I will kind of like ready myself to like, if I do get attacked, I will attack back also.
Yeah, the first warrior does like look over at the situation, and they like turn back to you, and they like swing their blade at you. You're taking an action as they do this?
Yeah.
Okay. Damn, this die sucks. It's getting like 3s and 4s. Let's refresh. Let's get a new die. What do you say, guys?
It's a total of 22.
No, you keep using that goddamn die, you son of a bitch.
Effie.
Yeah.
Use my dice.
Well, you know what? There's a reason why I'm
Bad.
gonna keep
No.
using that bad die. I'm gonna use it for everybody tonight.
Storyline purposes.
Oh yeah. All right. The 22 you said?
Yeah, it's all 22.
Yeah, 22 hits. Which blade are you using, or what weapon? The hex blade. Okay.
Total 17 damage.
17.
Yeah.
So yeah, you swing, you hit, and go ahead and make a intimidation check.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. So with a 20, when you ignite the blade and you go to swing on the first warrior, it cuts through them, and then when you turn to look at the other one, they're like looking at your sword, and they're just looking confused and shouting out to the other one, who's like grabbing at their stomach, and they look like they're in a critical condition now. But both of them are seemingly like worried or concerned. Goes back to the top. And it goes to you.
Still just kind of trying to calm down the situation. Let's just put our weapons down. Just walk away from the situation before it gets any worse.
Are you like making hand gestures or anything to like really like show or indicate?
Yeah. Like I am kind of like putting the sword like down, like showing like I'm not trying to be threatening or trying to like attack them right now.
All right. Are you stepping back from them?
No, I'm standing my ground there.
Okay. Make persuasion check. Do it with advantage here. Actually, just do a regular check this time. Yeah, instead of disadvantage, just do a regular.
27.
So, seeing your gesture and your movements, they're very much like, like standing away from you. The one that's wounded is like looking at your blade and like looking up at you like questioningly. The other one just like waves their hand saying, almost like forget that, and then turns to look over at the scene, and you just hear and Queenie just like rips this guy to a pulp. And then
okay, so there's no point saving that guy.
Yeah. So while Queenie like pulls, did you finish your turn, or is that like your?
I will kind of like move forward a bit, like kind of toward where Queenie is, like so. I guess I'm moving in between those two people.
Okay. So as you're approaching, you see that happening.
Yeah.
The woman on top of Queenie like hops off while Queenie's like pulling like strands of meat off of the guy, and she turns to face you, and you see that like her face is very fair, with these emerald green eyes. She like waves her hair in slow motion. Her blade like in her hand. She like has the sunlight going around her. Queenie in the background with her wings spread, and she immediately looks at you.
So she stole my move of doing a rock and roll cover.
She points the blade right at you and readies herself, and she says, "State your name."
Just kind of stand there from honestly. Can't it just be one normal day? That Stormbane, you have my griffin.
Stonebane, you say?
Yeah.
Do you have a sister?
Yes.
Then you have a friend in me. Accept them. And then she like starts to move towards the other two.
Just, I told them they can go free. Just no harm to them.
Make a persuasion check.
$11.
She like hears you, and as she walks by you, like you realize that like she kind of stands close to your height, almost seemingly taller than you. She kind of has like this definition to her, like someone who's been like working out for a while. And as she passes you, she says, "Don't worry, I'll take care of you." And then she goes up and just whoosh, decapitates one, whoosh, decapitates the other. Sorry. Policy back home is to bring back the head of traitors. She grabs the heads. I understand that your culture doesn't really accept traditions like this. Come here, girl. How's my little princess? She goes over to Queenie and starts strapping the heads to the side of Queenie. And then that's when Queenie like looks up towards you and like, starts to hop up and down, like run towards you. I know y'all miss my sounds.
Yeah, just like putting the sword away and kind of go toward Queenie and hug her.
Yeah, she almost knocks you over, like how excited she is.
That's fine.
I
think at this point it's been like what 2 or 3 days since we last saw her.
Huh?
It's been like what 2 or 3 days since we last saw Queenie.
Yeah.
Four?
What's up?
It's like about 3 days, 4 days.
Yeah, it's 3 days. Yeah.
What, that you guys have been out, or
Yeah, since Queenie escaped the capital with the wolves.
a little over that, yeah.
It's kind of like doing the usual thing, speaking celestials, and it's just like, "How you been, girl? You doing okay?
She like kind of
Hurt or anything?"
nudges at you. Her beak is all bloodied up. You do notice that like along her neck, you see that there seems to be like wounds as if arrows had struck her at some point. And then like near her legs, you can see that there's claw markings and stuff like that.
Or I'll get you patched up here.
And the woman says, "I've been taking care of her well enough. Didn't realize she had a master."
Thank you. She's been missing for the last 3 days since some events at the capital.
Some events have happened recently on the western coast. Are you in touch with your sister?
Not for a while now. Who are you?
Oh, my name is Sita,
Sita?
Princess of Archimadonia.
Okay.
It's cedar, like the wood.
Sita?
Yes. That's what your friends told me, the translation for my name. It's a type of wood.
Okay.
It's Sidar.
Sidar.
Looks around at the sky.
Yeah,
Sidar.
meta pigeons.
Meta pigeons. That's canon now.
I mean, sure, if you want it to be. She didn't happen to have any wolves with her when you found her, right?
Actually, that's the ones we were looking for. See, some of my people wanted to utilize them. We were trying to catch them when we ran into a band of betrayers. Like these right here.
Alright. Killing them really that necessary, or?
To my people it is. Tell me, maybe we can end things a little bit quicker. Can you point me in the direction of Lord Bloodscream?
Why?
Oh, we need his head too.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Well, then we've concluded business. And she like grabs the reins for
But you
Queenie and she
can.
starts to tug her away.
No. I grab the reins.
It's of utmost importance that I take the head of Bloodscream to my people, so that way we can end the war. And that way no more conflict comes to your people.
That may be so, but Queenie stays with me because she's with me, and plus, I can't really just let you go around killing people here.
Last I checked, your people came to my people and killed a lot of my people. I think it's only right that I come through and do what a princess is supposed to in order to truly earn the love of her people.
And which people are yours again?
We're the Archimedonians. Wow. I thought I lived in a rock with my people.
See, I think you're on a whole different continent right now. Like, my people don't have anything to do with whatever happened on Arcadana.
This is Terra Promessa, correct?
Yes.
Your sister was very kind to give me information, but she kind of thinks like you, and idealism only goes so far. So, I took charge, left, and my people are currently with her, and as long as everything goes well, she doesn't have to die.
Where's my sister?
Oh, on the Western Front.
So that's where we're gonna be going then.
Oh, not until I bring back the head of Bloodscream.
That's, again, not going to happen.
And why not?
Because then that brings about more political issue that will bring about more fucking politicians from the old world who really don't want to have to deal with any of that.
I understood that Stannis Bloodscream ruled here.
Stannis Bloodscream has not been here for...
That must be a mistake.
Last week I've heard of him, he took off to Archimedana a long time ago.
But your sister said that there was Bloodscream still here in the capital.
Yes, just not Stannis.
Then we take their heads.
No.
And she like tugs on Queenie.
No.
Make her persuasion check.
Just get Hugh to kill him. There won't be any blood on your hands.
With a 14, like she like kind of stops tugging, looks at Queenie, who's also looking very stubborn, and like nods her head towards you.
A scratch of the bottom for Beak there.
She puts her hand on her hip and looks over Queenie. My word, I thought we were friends. I guess I'll go on foot. I guess I'll have to find one of the wolves on my own and ride it straight to the capital.
I'm going to need the wolves too.
She turns to you.
Those belong to a couple of my friends.
I get one of the wolves.
I can't promise that one at all. If we find a fourth wolf, we can take that one.
Do you think they'll have that many?
I don't know. Last time I checked, there was only 3.
Dire wolves come in abundance in the mountains back home. I didn't think I'd find any here, but if we do find the 4th, I do need it. Otherwise, I will have to take your head in the place of Bloodscream's.
Can't promise that will happen either, but how about we just settle down here right now?
Well, I've been tracking them for some time along with Queenie here. If you're not... Well, if you're up for the challenge, there are a couple more of these traitors to take care of.
And you said these traders weren't looking for the wolves also?
They got the wolves, actually. That's why we've been looking.
Okay, that changes things. Come with me. Start kind of pulling Queenie with me, going toward the tree line where Ona and Brian are.
They're that way.
Alright, have some more people with me. Up to you if you follow.
So she like reluctantly follows. Queenie like kind of like pushing her head against you a few more times.
Scratching your head like, where the fuck is this bitch? Like, I know she had said her name already, but it's just like, you know.
So as you're kind of making your way up there, you see that Goblin's like rolled over on his back. Ona's like slumped up against a tree.
Just give them an hour to rest up before we've been traveling all night.
She puts her hands on her hips.
Listen, I get it. You're a princess and you have your things to do that are so important, but
I'd eventually like to get the blood off my armor and my hair.
do I know of any like river or lake around here?
Where you guys are located, there's nothing major nearby. Go ahead and make like a perception check. With advantage if you'd like. What you eating, Fen?
I made Marry Me chicken.
Marry me chicken?
Marry me chicken?
He's
Yeah.
done.
Did he say yes?
Yeah, she said yes.
In technicality, we are already married, said my dad. When I left Texas.
I bought her a sword, not a ring.
That too.
Nice.
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 Next, get her land. And a castle to go with it.
What did you get?
Oh, I got a 4. So I guess I don't really know of any kind of body of water around here.
She like kind of like moves over to where like they're sleeping. And then she looks at you. These are your travel companions.
Yes. I'll kind of just like grab like the water skin, just like you can use this to.
She ignores
Wash
it
what
and
you
like
need to.
squats down and looks over at
Okay.
Ona.
I just don't get too close to her. She gets a little bitey while sleeping.
Why do you have a Yonti with you? A well-scented Yonti. Almost smells human. Fascinating.
Well,
Like she sits down.
she's kind of adopted. Hold out the water skin still. Kind of grab a rag and just toss it. You can wash off whatever you need to.
You are very kind. She like stands up, walks like maybe 10 feet over to a tree.
He's kind of tucking in Ona real quick there.
So while you're tucking her in, the sun is starting to kind of like rise up. It's getting hot.
Yeah. That's why we're under the trees.
You hear like metal kind of hitting the ground nearby,
Okay.
and yeah. You go. You don't look. Right. Come on, you're a gentleman.
I say it would like kind of catch my attention for a moment, just because like metal clanging all of a sudden, but we'll just kind of know she's probably doing something.
Cool. So, nice little wide shot. We cut from there. Where do we go now? Where do we go? Zoe, are you present?
No, she's gift.
Baby.
Yes.
You ready?
Yes.
So, inside of the dark cavern, you stand before Vecna. Wave currently still suspended within these long vines, Vecna kind of looks over at him. He'll be fine. He is merely receiving the training that you'll receive now. I assume you followed a vision, and your vision has brought you here. I can't hear you. No!
Zoe nodded lightly.
Does my appearance frighten you, child?
Voldemort.
Silence your phone.
Yeah, damn. Who's
I was
texting?
just about to say, why you sound like Voldemort?
She shook her head a bit. It doesn't.
Good. You do not know who I am, do you? My name, my appearance.
She's gonna think on that real quick.
If you want, you can try to make like a history check.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
Roll a 14, Muffin Man.
I am the Muffin Man.
So with the 14, like, you do, like, have some recollection of stuff you've heard about, you know, Lord Vecna in the past and his banishment and being vanquished by, you know, heroes of old, essentially. He's damn near like a fairy tale now to a lot of people. A legend to most. So yeah.
Right. She's gonna look at him. You're Lord Vecna, correct?
That's my name. The
Don't worry.
reputation that befalls me.
Sorry.
He's
That I've been on a hype all day. I do apologize. Go ahead.
Tell me, do you know why you come here? The reason.
She's gonna like tilt her head slightly, looking at him. I feel that I was mostly wanting to come here to help.
Many in the past have come here, dying, seeking a greater power that they do not truly understand. Your friend, for example, he's like looking up at Wave, full of ambition. The fire in his chest burns, unlike any other I've seen so far. Parallel to your very own at this moment. Two twin flames in one place. To walk out with an experience and knowledge. To die with it. Or to ascend to a greater power. A greater status. My time has passed. I no longer desire what I've always wanted. And like he looks down at his hands, all withered, and his right hand all withered and gone. Your fate, by choosing to come here, could be greater than you ever imagined. Looking over you, he's just kind of like watching you, waiting, kind of seeing if you have something to say, or if almost like he like wants you to take a next step.
Yeah.
Oh.
How would you go about doing that? This is all on you.
No, it's all on Eris. Eris is just sitting there staring off into space, wondering why we're here.
Eris is learning with you.
I know. He was telling me what one of my abilities was, and I was like, no, it's just all on Eris. She's gonna be looking towards his withered hand, and then looks at him. May I?
Good intentions, I sense. There's nothing to heal.
What was it that you wanted before?
Does not matter anymore. For what I've come to learn that the most righteous are the ones who bear the power of greatness. My path was destruction, death, and unjust, paling in comparison to the truth of the world. How insignificant all my efforts have been. Do you know the name of the fire god? The one who wields the green flame now?
She's gonna nod lightly. Arzon.
A great devil. One who has traversed many levels of the Nine Hells to become what he is now. A champion. He is close. Very close to achieving what I have done. And fire is not where he ends his tyranny. He will engulf the world in flame and bring the gods to their knees. That is unless you and your friends, your allies, are willing to do what so many others have been able to do before. And when the day comes, your power will be like his. Great and terrible. Shall I show you?
She nods.
He raises his right hand towards you, and he brings it within inches of your face. And he says, "Do not take this trial lightly, for although it is from my memory, you will determine if your fate ends this day." And you feel like this pull from the back of your mind, and you get sent through what feels like time itself. And as the kind of like surroundings to you kind of swell in this multicolor layers of nonsense, you start to actually see images of memories flashing through. Most of them what you assume to be from Vecna's perspective. One of the things that you see is leading up to what looks like a cavern. And he's sitting inside of this cavern, and he looks up and he's seemingly waiting for something. And as we continue to look down the passage that he's looking through, we cut to the outside, twisting and turning through what is a complex maze, a series of tombs and a large dungeon. And on the outside of this dungeon, we see a group of 6 heroes. One of them, you kind of fall right into them, seemingly taking their place. The group surrounding you seems like very old medieval type of soldiers. 3 of them bearing this very heavy armor set, very old world reminiscent to you. You can see like the blues and the grays of their color schemes. And the 3 men who bear the armor are have great beards, long hair, kind of pulled back. Some of them have braids running through it. Each one of them kind of like exuding their own personalities. Sitting on a rock nearby, reading what looks like a book, you notice that there is like a what looks like a wizard in traditional robes and a top pointy hat, but it's also bent near the middle and kind of curved over. And he's reading from what looks like this very large, heavy, metallic book, covered in chains and stuff like that. To the left of them, you see a woman kind of twirling a blade in their hand, kind of carelessly listening to the leader as they kind of go on. And the leader saying, everything has led us to this moment, okay? Every adventure, every hardship. And he looks over at the wizard, who looks away. Every loss. The monster that has terrorized the youth at their doors in the night is in that cave. And if we're brave enough to push ourselves through it, we'll extinguish his evil forever. And then the wizard like looks up, and you see that they're very young. They have very pale skin, dark black beard, kind of shaved down and kept. He's looking up at the guy, and you see that there's like a series of scars running across his face. And he says, what's the point? He'll just come back. And the leader says, this is not the time to lose faith, my friend. This is the time for all of us to band together and truly be one. Can I ask that all of you stand strong in this moment? And like he puts his hand out in front of him, Power Ranger style. The two other soldiers to his left and right are just, they seem like they're very loyal to him, and they put their hands at the center. The what you assume to be like a rogue or an assassin stands up and says, they killed my fucking brother. Him and his people deserve to go to hell. Let's burn what's left of Vecna. Separate him from his hand and his eye and his blasted book. And at that, the wizard slams their book shut, rolls her eyes, and says, here we go again. And the leader turns to you and says, I know that fire is burning, and you're scared of it. But we're not afraid. We're here to make the greatest sacrifice, if we have to. And you know what that could mean. Are you ready?
Zoe nods and places the hand on top of theirs. I'm ready.
The group all coming together, kind of reluctantly, placing their hands in. They all look at each other, smiling, and they like let out like a yell all at once. You kind of feel yourself kind of react to this, not necessarily like willingly, but almost like the memory is partially guiding you through this. Make a perception check as the group turns and starts to head into the dungeon.
I rolled an 8. I think today's like actually a good day though.
Alright. So as you and the group begins to go into this cavern. It grows cold, dark. The walls are wet, and you get to feel this claustrophobic and uncomfortable feeling as you guys get further and further away from the entrance. And it feels similar to the time that you guys went through those caverns. Quiet, haunting, and unfamiliar. The sound of hard labor rings across Sweetwater. The early morning has passed, and Fenrir, where do you find yourself?
Shit.
He said I'm gonna hit him.
Did you hear him?
I got up at the end.
Did you hear him?
I heard him a little.
He said he's taking a shit. Lisa Agaib.
I don't want a sandworm to come out of that.
Oh, come from the toilet.
It's terrible. But no, waking up, getting ready, and just realistically to check and see how everything's doing, if I'm actually necessary for being needed.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's still a lot of work to be done. The wall, like, even though you guys cleaned up a lot of the debris, they're still building it up. So they're getting the materials in to, like, start reapplying the stone work and stuff like that. Even fresh new pieces of stone have been brought out. There's some, like, people from the town who've decided to kind of, like, start repainting the outside of the wall, saying that they just needed a new color, and they're going for this very bright bronze design on the outside of the walls.
Okay.
So, like, the people who are hard at work with the machines provided by acquisitions, a lot of the battle balloons have left, leaving a singular one that seems only equipped to carry the machinery you guys are working with. Keg bots are kind of supplying, people with beverages, non-alcoholic beverages at that. As you see, they're swirling around with white liquids and stuff like that. Sam and the Night Knockers are out there as well, doing their part. At this point, yeah, I mean, if you're kind of just arriving for the morning, I would say, like, you would join in, right? Or you
Yeah, is Lord West nearby?
Not from where you can see right now. Go ahead. You don't need to make perception. You do notice that Leroy Adams.
Yeah.
He's near, like, the front of the wall, and he's, like, helping move stoneworks up and putting them onto, like, this rack that they're levying up to stack the stones up on the wall. And he sees you and kind of, like, waves.
Fender kind of smiles a bit and heads out towards where he's at. Good to see you're actually around now.
I need some time to rest, I'll be honest. My wife's been very lovingly taking care of me. But it was about time that I came out here and put a helping hand, and Lord West wants to see me later, so...
I got a question for you.
Yeah?
Any of these, the men out here, part of your personal unit?
There's a couple of men. Some of them are off on the northern wall just doing their normal duties. In the afternoon they're going to rotate and come down here to help, and I imagine after to drink. It's essentially working doubles out here.
That's understandable. Well, I plan on making a home for myself out here. Or at least another place I can go to.
Here in Sweetwater or outside the walls?
Here in Sweetwater.
Well, there's plenty of land out here to the west. I'm sure Lord West won't mind.
Well, I was kind of hoping to take Lord North's home.
It is a rather spacious location. Does need a new roof, I hear.
Yeah. But with that, I can only assume, with as much gold as I'll be receiving, he kind of says under his breath, I would kind of need, guards to keep watch over my property.
Are you offering us a job?
If it happens the way that it's going, that I'm hoping it does, yes, actually.
I've only been here a couple of days, and you want to be my lord?
Oh, well, I mean, I'm new to this kind of concept. But
Let's finish the wall together, and I'll let you know how I feel after. What do you say?
that's fair.
He like picks up a stone. You can see that he's like, goes over to move some more. You hear a
Finner
voice coming up behind you. Go ahead.
Finner casually walking up, grabbing like 2 stones
Yeah,
at
yeah,
a time.
yeah. he like sees you do it. You asshole. I just need to do a little more legwork. A little more on the arms, and give it 40 more years, and I'll be as big as you.
I think getting you guys into shape would probably be another thing to do after this.
He like rubs his stomach with the wife's cooking and my snacking in between. I don't know if it's very possible. You hear a voice kind of like behind you. Hey, Fenrir! Fenrir! And when you turn to look,
Sam?
you see that it's Sam heading over. Edgar and the others like kind of behind him. He like comes up. Hey, where's everybody else? Me and the group were thinking that we can all get together tonight, have some drinks. Thinking
Well,
about headed back to town.
Finner kind of stands there a bit, and he's like trying to think of where everybody is. Well, I know.
I think I would have already told Sam and them where I'm at.
Sam does know where Edard is, so you don't have to bring that one up.
Okay.
I should have implied that. Boop.
But I mean, he doesn't know that Sam knows, so he's just
Yeah.
like off the people who knows where they went.
He was giving me a side note, and I'm like, yeah. Like
Well, I believe
Vecna's hand, it's not his right hand missing, it's his left.
Oh.
Fandom, don't come for me.
Finner kind of like looks at Sam. Well, I know Eddard's going after the animals. He has Ona with him, to my knowledge. Zoe, I don't know. Kind of worried about that.
Well, they're saying that maybe another day or two they'll be finished here, but most of the guys want to get back home, see their families and stuff, and he like looks around. Frankly, it's not my fault this wall fell down.
I mean, that's fair.
Lovely place, though. Lovely place.
In retrospect, I don't think I'm the cause of this wall falling either. But
It's questionable.
uh-huh.
He like stays like he doesn't break character. He's just looking at you with a big smile on his face.
Just because I can turn into some gigantic monster now doesn't mean it was my fault.
I mean, if I was a
Build it
gigantic
on the
monster, I
inside.
think I'd step on a couple things too. It's alright.
And Finner's like, the buildings on the inside were my fault.
Right. Right.
You
Yeah,
guys good to then tomorrow?
Yeah, we should be good soon. We got the money and everything gathered together. Even Lord Vecna paid us a visit this morning. Says that we're friends of the group. Yeah, he looks around. The unnamed group of heroic proportions. He winks at you. But he goes, yeah, and I really I'd like to get back home. Sweetwater wasn't my cup of tea.
That's fair.
Neither was hunting Fire Lord or witches or whatever the fuck we started off this. Why did we come here?
Well, originally we were tracking some bandits. We got all separated in that weird place, Desperata.
Make a perception check. You can make it with advantage too. Your beast senses are tingling.
Mm-hmm.
His beast senses are tingling.
Mm-hmm.
You say his bee senses?
Yeah, that's what I thought I heard for a second. Like his bee senses?
I literally thought you said B.
19. These dice suck.
So with a 19, you hear it and you feel it first, and then the rest of the people kind of turn their attention as they hear like kind of these explosions going off on the western side of the wall. A bunch of soldiers begin to run up into defensive positions, shouting and pointing along the wall, and you hear some of them shouting, "There's a few more of those things! They're coming in fast!" And the Night Knockers immediately like assemble together, like around Sam. They looking at you. They look out toward the other side of the wall, and when you look through like the opening, you can just make out in the distance that there's something like pushing through the ground in your direction. It seems to be small, but it's not necessary. It's giving you the impression that this might be a cave carver.
Fenrir looks at Sam. Well, I guess we might have some more work to do.
Sam like reaches down, picks up this large like axe, puts it on his shoulder. Let's fuck shit up.
As he is about to go towards the west gate, he looks at the Night Knockers. If it's one of the smaller ones on the back of its head, just below the where a neck would be.
The group like kind of grabbing whatever they can, people kind of splitting off. Adams like pulls the sword from his hip, and he's like, "I'm gonna get up on the wall with the rest of the group." And then like he takes off, and you hear him shouting commands to ready long range weapons and stuff like that. The Night Knockers, kind of like assembling themselves next to you. Sam goes, "Give the word, Captain."
Fenrir kind of like looks at him. Okay. I guess at this point, and like he goes and stomps forward and enters his rage, making the claws, and he yells out, "Get him!"
Alright, go ahead and roll initiative.
He just goes like, no. I told them to get.
Yeah.
I rolled a 10. What you doing?
Time can move so slow when you have to roll dice. Damn, these rolls suck. You guys got off lucky tonight. You hear me? Lucky. Alright, so... And Fen, because this is going to be kind of like an ongoing fight, I might like do a little bit of the fight and then cut to somebody else, so that way we're
Okay.
not prolonging or pushing anybody else's turn too far out of the way.
Yeah, no, you're good.
So first on the initiative, the Night Knockers kind of charging forth along your side. They're basically going to move up their speed. So they're about 40 feet or 30 feet outside of the wall right now. Closing in on them, you see that the grounds burst open, and there's 4 cave carvers currently closing the distance towards the Night Knockers. The men along the wall are commanded to hold their weapons and ready to fire. And as the first cave carver's head comes out of the ground, they let loose a volley of arrows and gunfire on the creature. Where is my HP thingy? So they open fire. This thing lets out a roar as they like pelt through the top of its head, and it starts to take damage almost immediately. And then it goes to you. So they're about 40 feet away from where the Night Knockers are standing currently.
Yeah, just kind of. I'm gonna stroll up to it.
To the one that was damaged?
Yeah.
Okay.
Attacks. 24.
To hit?
Yeah.
24 hits.
32 hits. 30 hits.
We might not have to cut off of this too often.
Kick his ass, Seabass!
Mm-hmm.
So, 14. That was, was 11, 16, 14, 30, 33. 48. Then I have. Okay, so that's 48 slashing damage and 8 lightning damage.
So you go up, and this thing kind of like, getting attacked by the wall, kind of turns, and like as it's kind of turning its body, runs right into you. And you grab it, and you just like completely shred and bust its head open into a pulp.
Beautiful.
At that, you got anything else on you?
How far is the other one? Oh, how much movement did I use there?
So moving from where the Night Knockers are, 30 feet.
Said 30 feet?
Around 50 feet total to the way you close the gap on the Carvers.
Okay, so I have 25 feet left.
Mm-hmm.
How
And
close
then,
I am?
honestly, like depending on how much damage you did on the first 2 attacks, because that thing only had like 34 points left.
Oh.
I'll give you like an extra attack. Just like, you know, the first two should have been enough to like substantially kill it. So
Yeah,
if
the
you
first
want,
two would be a total of like 33.
yeah, like they're like maybe 15 feet apart each, so like you have plenty of movement to get to at least one more.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to the next one, and I'm gonna make my third attack then, which was my third attack was 15 points of damage and 2 points of lightning damage. And then I'm going to make an offhand attack. For 27.
27 hits.
$15 points of bludgeoning damage. 8 points of lightning damage.
Yeah, you assault this thing while it's like burrowing through the ground. You can just barely see its back, like the spine of this thing kind of going through.
Uh-huh.
And when you strike it, it like pops up out of the ground, gets on all of its legs, and just like turns to face you. From there, this creature is going to go ahead and attack you. Let's see here. Uh, 27 to hit.
27 does hit.
A 25 to hit.
25 does hit.
Uh, 17 points of slashing damage on the first hit. And then 12 points of slashing on the secondary hit. And then as it finishes its attack, you notice that like its outer shell, kind of clamps down and seems to harden over its body. The other cave carver is charging forth. Let's see. So as it charged forth, it goes right past you, and it's going towards the Night Knockers. Sam and the others kind of ready themselves, but it impacts their shield wall, and it completely sends most of them scattering in different directions. A few of them, along with Sam and Edgar, like hold their ground and kind of get slid back a little bit.
Oh, was it close enough for an attack of opportunity or no?
No, not around 15 feet apart.
Okay.
It moves up, crashes into them. It seems a little like it's like looking around trying to pick a target now. The other remaining carver charges straight at the wall and is now like kind of like reaching to kind of crawl up the side of it. The soldiers and stuff like that kind of like fighting it off as best they can. Goes back up to the top of the order. The Night Knockers are going to go ahead and attack. One of them is going to hit Sam. Yeah, so like while they engage the cave carver in front of them, the Night Knockers are just kind of like working in unison. It goes over to the wall. They're going to attack the creature that's climbing up it. It's taking some damage as they're opening fire on this thing. It goes back over to you, Fen.
I'm assuming that the armor class is increased because of the clamping down.
Yeah. The one in front of you?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I make an unarmed attack against this thing. That would be... No, this would be a grapple. That would be a grapple, I'm sorry. Uh, 20 against its dexterity. I think it's against that.
He got like a 7.
And the one against the wall, or I got a clear view of the one against the wall, right?
Yeah. Again, like maybe close to like 50 feet away from where you are.
Okay. What would you say the length of these things are? Like if you were to stretch it out,
Like 10 to 15 feet long.
And they're like snake-like, right?
Yeah. Very thick bodied though. They're not like thin and scaly. Like they have large bodies.
So I mean, if somebody was strong enough. How far is that one?
The one on the wall?
Yeah.
Around 50 to 55 feet away from you.
So can I move 50 feet? Oh no, I'm sorry. 35 feet?
Is that your movement?
That would be my movement, yes. Dragging the other one along.
It'd be like half. I would say like up to 30 feet, I would say.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, like the 35.
Like even 25 feet since we're doing about half. What's your full movement?
They moved that. Give me a second. They actually moved where the movement is. My movement is 50 feet.
Yeah, so I'd say like 25 feet. Do you ignore difficult terrain?
I ignore difficult terrain, yeah.
Then you're not I would say you're not like you're not held back by pulling this thing.
Okay.
I'd say if it was like the queen, then yeah, like maybe.
So I'm gonna get close enough, just close enough to where if I were to swing this thing like a whip. Yeah.
I'd say you'd still be pretty short. Well, no, like you're moving up, so I'm like, yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
But I mean, like, what are we doing for the weight here? Let's just do 2d10s for the damage of this thing.
Okay. 2d10 plus strength.
Yeah, and then just roll to hit it. That would just be like a raw like strength check.
So. $24 on the one on the wall.
No, 24 hits it. And then whatever damage that you do to the creature on the wall, it'll take the full hit, and then the one you are hitting with, it'll take half that damage.
Okay. So
that seems fair. That seems fair. Everybody, give it up for the DM. Ah, DM. Yeah.
That was mid.
16 points of, I guess, slashing damage.
Bludgeoning, right? Because you're hitting it with the...
The Carver would be bludgeoning damage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because of the way you're using it, and damn near it's like a bat, so... but it would be like the impact, so 2d10s off of the body. And then plus your strength for damage.
So I rolled a 2 and a 1 on the 2 d10s.
Damn.
That was kind of sad.
It'd be like that, bro. So what's our total damage?
13 plus rage, 16 bludgeoning.
The creature on the wall, you actually manage to knock it off the wall, and it flies off and hits the ground. Quickly kind of like getting up on its feet to like look in your direction. The one that you hit with, it's kind of like, its head is spinning a little bit from the impact.
And where it landed, the one I just hit, my second attack, gonna do a full like hold over my head and just straight down smash.
With the body of the other one?
Yeah.
Okay.
$23.
To hit?
Yes.
Yeah, that works.
Actually, this would be a strength check. This would still be a strength check. Natural 20.
Nice. Nice. Oh, you seemingly froze. I was like, yeah, nice.
So. Yeah. 24, 34, 37?
37 total?
Yeah.
So using the body of the other creature, you completely, like, bring it down and you crack the skull and squish it completely on the top of the head. The other one that you're holding on to is, like, squirming and, like, moving around in your hand, like, still trying to, like, stay alive, but you can see that it's pretty badly damaged. I assume that's your turn?
Let me check one last thing about grapple. Because I think I can bonus action something. Oh yeah, it takes 1d4 damage. Takes 4 points of bludgeoning damage as well. The one I'm holding.
Alright. From there, we go over to its turn. And you're currently grappling it, right?
Yeah.
Gonna have to break out with a strength contested. Don't think that's gonna work out very well for it.
Let me... What's the roll?
It got a 18.
$27.
It's wiggling and trying to get out of your grasp, but it's not managing to get free. From there, it goes over to... Everybody's getting lucky tonight. The Night Knockers are like, if you ever seen like those old Jason and the Argonaut movies and stuff, where they're like fighting the big creature, they're like just surrounding this thing and just like start stabbing it, hitting it with shovels and stuff.
Jeez. Hear the monster roar.
Yeah, they're fucking this thing up. You see that it's bleeding all over the place, kind of trying to get away from them. Up on the wall, they take a couple of shots, and they seem to clear up the remainder of the one guy that they're fighting. So they kill him. Fen, it's back on you. You got the last cave carver in your hands.
It's going to take 1 point of damage.
Just cuz?
Yeah, it's the grapple effect.
Oh, okay.
It takes 1 point of kiss damage.
Yeah. There's the squeeze. Just blood everywhere. Excessive.
And then, actually, yeah, I think I'm just going to bear hug till its head pops off.
Nice.
Give Daddy a hug.
You don't even have to roll. You begin to squeeze, and if you've seen Godzilla and Kong recently, when he kills, what was the name of the the bug-looking one? Yeah, what's it called? Scylla. Just geyser of blood just pours over Fen.
Muffin.
The Night Knockers and everyone on the wall begin to kind of cheer and triumph, like, yeah! Ah! And Leroy up on the wall, he calls down, and he's like, you can't stop doing that, can you? You need another shower?
Fenrir kind of drops its body and looks at them. After that, yeah.
There's kind of like a rumbling in the earth. The Night Knockers are kind of looking around, and you see that off in the distance, one by one, you see multiple cave carver streams kind of heading in your direction. And you hear someone calling from the wall, 8, 9, 10, there's over a dozen of them! All coming to the wall! Trees getting knocked aside as they push the roots out from under them, and they're kind of quickly heading in your direction. Sam and the others are just like, I'm starting to think it might be better to go back behind that wall.
Fenrir kind of like, he does like a subtle exhale.
And as you make this exhale, Lord West kind of like walks up next to you, and he's just kind of like, why can't it just be a normal morning? And he just smiles at you.
Killing monsters is what I do.
Well, it takes a monster to kill a monster, doesn't it?
Fenrir kind of like grins at that. Absolutely. And as he, as I say, like, he starts to run forward, but as he steps forward about like after 10 feet ahead, the weight of his step gets heavier and heavier. As
and then
his
like right next to you, Lord West begins to transform into his draconic form. So as the two of you charging forth into the battlefield, everyone behind you like cheering you on. And you can even sense the Night Knockers like running behind you guys, having like instilled this like power within them.
I was gonna bring that up too. So I got a thing from level 14 Barbarian.
Mm-hmm.
If they were within range of me, I can select up to, what was it, for like my proficiency bonus? Yeah, Call of the Hunt. When you enter Rage, you can choose up to 5 target willing creatures. I gain 5 temporary hit points for each creature that accepts this feature, and they all deal an additional D6 to all of their damage.
Yeah, I mean, again, like you guys are turning into your bestial forms, charging forth. All the creatures like kind of like pulling out of the ground, begin to crawl over the earth towards you all. The Night Knockers like begin to like slash and cut down the creatures as they pop out of the ground toward them, setting up their defenses. Lord West picks one up, throws it off to you. You grab it, rip it in half, and then more, like maybe 4 or 5 of them leap out of the ground towards you guys, and as you guys get ready to thwart them all off, we cut to Hugh stirring in his sleep.
I was actually gonna make the joke what happens in the abridged of Bleach where Kenpachi fights some guy and it's like, this is gonna be the greatest fight ever! Too bad it's off screen! And like it cuts to the next fight.
No, we get it, you know, there's easy enemies, you're shredding some shit, you know, it's supposed to be visually fun. But we cut over, and Hugh, you're in a cold sweat.
Oh, I don't want to be cold.
And in your dreams, you're in the cell. There's shadowy figures and faces reflected off of the green light. The singular torch almost just taunting you from the other side, flickering and flaming. The memory of these terrible things that have happened to you coming back to your mind. The sound of the cell door opening down the hall, the expected footsteps. There are no footsteps. Instead, you hear this rumbling, guttural growl coming from down the hall. Do you dare to look, Hugh?
Shit. Here we go again. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it, why not? You, I'll look.
When you go to look, you are suddenly looking up at it. It is atop of you, this demonic devil creature, snarling, drool coming from its mouth. Its membrane reflected in the shadow to your side, growing towards you. And then you suddenly wake as the gate door opens to the cells. And the guard comes in with L.
Just when it's getting to the good part. I fear no man, but that thing scares me.
I literally have a note that just says, Hugh has nightmare.
You had scary dream.
But yeah, Ella like walks up with the like a key in her hand, and she's looking at you with the guard like next to her, and she says, "Are you okay?"
I'm fine, just a little hot. Cause I assume I was having a cold sweat.
The guard. He looks at you and he says, "See, they're never gonna let me live it down." He looks at you and he says,
"Gord."
We'll be right back after this break. But he looks at you through the bars and he says, "Lord Godfrey requests your presence for breakfast."
Oh, food. I could eat.
We're gonna have to get you a little cleaned up, aren't we? And she like clicks open the door and pulls it open.
Oh, I need a shower.
She like kind of like puts her hand on your back and like kind of walks you out. The guard's just like, I don't think it's totally necessary.
What, your shower? Of course it is.
No. Never mind. And he seemingly like looked at her for a moment, who's like, she's like got like these red rosy cheeks looking back at him as she's trying to help you. But
what's going on?
But he starts to kind of lead you guys out of the cells, and she's like kind of guiding you up the steps, and she says, "I guess not everybody's happy that you're out already."
Oh, sucks to be them.
There's something I have to tell you.
What?
The guard like kind of like peeks back at the both of you and then just kind of continues up the steps. But she like leans in and she's like, "I don't think the king made all the decisions to have you brought out. I think someone wants you out."
I wonder who. Must be my friends.
I hope so. As you kind of get let out, you pass by what you believe to be the kitchens in the hallway. These people kind of going in and out of those doors, and then out the passage that you guys go through, and the door that you guys go through. You're back out in that main hall, whereas now like all the tables are laid out instead of a bunch of chairs for a hearing. You see that all these tables are covered in food and other assortments of like studies, as people are either studying some books or they're enjoying their morning breakfast. You don't notice or see Godfrey at the throne or anyone else familiar there, but the guard kind of like guides you behind the throne to these large oak doors, and he like knocks a couple of times on the door. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And after a pause, the knock is returned and the door comes open. And you see that there are equally clad soldiers on the other side pulling the doors open. The difference between them is their ranking seems to be under his. And he, like, as he walks, they, like, bow their heads, and you see seated in the middle of this large rectangular room is this oval table, and on the end of it, Godfrey sits with Jada to his left, and she seems like to be enjoying like some fruits and stuff, looking at him and like going to feed him and stuff like that, and he's like eating the grapes while enjoying what looks like some pancakes. But he looks up at you and he sees you, and he's like, "Hugh, how are you feeling this morning?" And he stands up.
Oh, hungry.
Would you like to take your bath now, or you can have breakfast now?
I'll go bath first, then I'll come eat breakfast. I've been in that cell for, what, 3-4 days now?
He gestures to his guard and to Ella. Please, take him to get washed up, and then we'll have him back. And from there, they guide you back out, and you can make a perception check here.
Okie dokie. Come on, eyes. Don't deceive me now. My eyes hurt. Too bright out. I got an 8. I can't see shit. Fucking... Oh, God, it's dark downstairs.
You're taking everything at face value right now. They lead you out, and to the right side of where the throne sits, facing all the people, there's another door opposite to the one you came out of.
Yeah.
And that one, you remember, leads back towards where the initiative center is. Coming through here, you see the first door to the right, the room familiar to you, where Jada had pulled you in. Those few days before. You eventually come up to another door. You see that Rose Gold is stepping out, and he's wearing a white shirt, kind of popped open on the top, and he's wearing what looks like not swim pants, like sweatpants. He like notices you and he smiles and he goes, "Oh, that's wonderful. I thought he would wait a little bit longer, but I'm assuming you're going to be joining us for breakfast."
Yeah, but what do you mean, wait a little bit longer?
Oh, I assumed that we would like maybe take time to prepare a room for you, and Ella chimes in. She says, "I already did that." Oh, well then, you're in good hands.
Perfect.
He
So when do I get my armor and my weapons back?
the guard says, "I have your armors and weapon. You'll get them
Oh,
soon.
perfect. Perfect.
As soon as you prove to not be a liability."
I'm just as much of a liability as you are. Am I not?
You feel a squeeze in your arm from Ella as she like pulls you down the hall, and you hear Rose Gold like call out to you, and he's just like, "Hey, don't use all the apple scented soaps, please. It's good for the skin." And
I proceed to use all the apple scented soap.
I was just about to say, Hugh, proceed to use all the soaps.
Yeah, you get let in, and sure enough, like there's a opposite to where he's at. You guys cross the double doors that lead to the initiative. There's a singular door to the left of that, and you could feel like steam kind of coming from that direction. And she like leads you in, and you see that there's 2 different washrooms. She points you off to the left, and she says, "You'll find everything you need in the cabinets. There's fresh towels and everything." And sure enough, you see, you can hear like a shower running from that side of the room.
I'm gonna go to the opposite side, so there's just myself. I don't want anybody else in there.
She like kind of steps in. "Those are for the ladies."
Oh, thank God. Oh.
And like she leans in and she goes, "Don't get caught in there alone, okay? Last thing we need is getting in trouble for silly things or worse things."
won't do anything stupid to get myself in trouble this time.
No,
Or yet.
I mean, Jada and her friends like to go in there pretty often. So, just something to look out for.
Duly noted.
She gets the red cheeks again. I'll wait outside.
Okay. Thank you.
And you proceed to the shower, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you can see there's a bunch of shelves and there's wash basins and stuff leading into where the showers are. You can you can kind of make out that there's curtains in individual rooms, but you can kind of see the shoulders of someone kind of washing themselves in there. You do see that on the shelves. Not only are there towels, there's also like fresh linens and t-shirts and pants to kind of throw on. And then you do see this large bottle of this reddish shampoo and a bar of soap sitting next to it, fresh and unused.
Then I shall proceed to use those.
Yeah. You notice that amongst all the other bottles of shampoo that are there, that's the only one that's red. The other ones are whites, and by checking them, I assume you might have investigated a little bit, right? The one that you did grab is most definitely apple scented.
Sorry, what'd you say? Lindsay talked to me in my ear.
Oh, I was saying that you picked up the only bottle of apple scented shampoo.
Okay, I'm not gonna use all of it. I'll use enough to clean myself with.
So as you kind of go in, you see there are individual stalls. They're mainly designed for tall people. So
yeah,
when you go to step in, these two walls kind of cover you pretty well and give you some privacy. The person on the stall next to it, they're scrubbing their head, so you can't really make out who it is.
Okay, then I just go do my own thing.
So while you're doing your thing, you start up the water, close the curtain, right?
Yeah.
You start doing your thing, and after a while, you hear the guy next to you. He kind of goes, yeah. Nothing better than a hot shower. More than you deserve.
Do I know who this is by the voice?
You can hear the footsteps, and you do recognize the voice to be Bloodscream's.
Talking a lot of shit for someone throwing hands distance.
He's standing maybe on the outside of your stall. You can see his feet under the under the curtain.
Ugh, what the hell are those?
And you can see his towel kind of flipping around, where you assume he's drying his hair off.
Yep.
And you hear his voice saying, "I'm not gonna do the indecency and mess with a man who's in the middle of his private time, but I will say this: you step out of line, you'll be the first to see me, and it'll be the last thing you ever see."
Talking a lot of shit, aren't you? I could end you here if I wanted.
Even be here.
I could end you if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. Just remember, watch your back.
Can you confidently say that and secure the safety of all your allies? Or do you always run your mouth like an idiot?
No, this is just a one-on-one between me and you. This has nothing to do with my ally.
It has everything to do with them.
Nope.
In a few days...
This confrontation is about me and you.
In a few days' time, I will begin my venture to your old home.
Where? The old world? Because that's where my home is.
Then perhaps we should consider sending you back.
Maybe you should come with me, Mr. I love the old world.
The initiative town is going to be under Bloodscheme rule.
It all depends. So you're trying to scheme, I see. Just because you're the king's right-hand man doesn't mean you're unstoppable. Remember that. And I will outlive you a hell of a lot longer.
You see that your towel gets pulled from like the top of the rail.
5-inch dick. Bam.
And then like he throws it into the stream of water, and it starts to get soaked as it hits the ground.
I'd like to proceed to punch him in the dick. Just bam! Sucker punch him right in the cock.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Make an unarmed strike. I know. It was supposed to be.
Dirty 20.
Dirt 20 does not hit. As you
really?
go through and you look, when you punch through the cover, you see that he's left.
Oh, lucky little fucker. You're so lucky. Oh man, fuck! If you had said dirty 20 hits and you just got fucking nut shot, it'd be funny as hell.
You do see him as he turns the corner, and he's kind of got like this like quick step to him.
Oh. Fucking coward. Fucking straight in the nuts. Bam!
Funny as fuck, bro.
That'd be great.
So let's say for the sake of time, you've had your shower, you've gotten ready, right? You get led back into that personal dining room for the king, and when you get back, you see that the table's been laid out with meats and other type of breakfast items. He offers you a seat on his left side, and you see that Lord Rosegold, he like kind of like grabs his chair and like scoots it over, making room for you to sit down. Jada's there as well, still picking at her food and looking up at you every once in a while.
I avoid eye contact with her. I completely avoid eye contact with her.
Ella takes position in a corner of the room. The guard, along with the others, are along the walls as well. Quickly, a couple of maids come over and they like put plates in front of you and offer to serve it for you as well.
Oh, why thank you.
And they begin to put like pork sausage and all sorts of things on top of your plate, including eggs and grits. And as they're doing this, Godfrey is just like, I'm glad that I was able to actually finalize a couple of things for you, and honestly, with no word from Salazar, I think that we can start taking a different direction for your punishment. He says it and he implies quotations.
What kind of punishment are we speaking of?
Well, I think we talked before, right? Consideration to have you... excuse me. To have you close at hand.
Yes, that one.
As such, someone of your caliber and your might, I thought maybe you'd enjoy being maybe a member of my personal ranks. And you can make a perception check here if you'd like.
Oh, put my phone in my pocket.
I'll take it. Thank you.
Fuck me. Again.
I don't need it right now.
8.
He says this, and he, damn you. Now I'm like, now it's in my head. He goes on and he says, well, my idea is maybe we can prove your loyalty and maybe perhaps get you reinstated as, well, as an upstanding citizen. We can't necessarily put you back in the initiative, especially in the condition it's in, but at least we can start making it public known that you are someone turning their life around for the better. So, with that being said, I'd like you to be under his command. And like he turns his attention towards the guard that's been watching over you. Lord Hughes. Lord Hughes has been one of my personal guards for a long time. Even served my father when he was here.
Wait a second. His name is also Hugh-ish?
He has a first name as well. I don't know if he'd like me. And if you were to kind of peek back at the guard like shakes his head no. Like he doesn't want his first name let out there. And Godfrey's just like, oh, of course. Lord Hughes is what you'll call him. I guess you kind of do share a name.
Oh God. Oh God, why?
Jada says, he looks so handsome in our armor, don't you think?
I completely ignore her.
And Lord Rosegold, kind of like, compliments that. He's like, yes, the Stormbane colors would definitely look good on him.
Unfortunately, I will not be rocking any colors due to the fact that this is a legacy item that I had gotten from the gift. And I shall not alter it. It would be distasteful and wrong.
Oh, we would just be crafting you completely new sets of armor. Your regular armor, I guess you could use it if you wish, but I'd much prefer that you at least fly the colors of my house. That way people can see you as a representative of me.
I will wear like an armband or something to represent it, but the armor itself shall stay untouched.
He kind of thinks, how about a cape?
No capes. Capes get people killed. Have you ever seen The Incredibles?
It's like, this is an Incredibles reference.
Yeah, it like seemingly, like, shut up. I've seen the play. Shut up.
And I must say, that Lady Incredible is got a huge donk.
I want a cape. No. Edna, no.
So he kind of like goes on and he says, we'll get you fitted, or we'll get you something that'll suit that. Just as long as you work with us, we might be able to put this behind us. And again, maybe people will trust you again.
Okay, we can try. How about this? Instead of a cape or an armband, you get me a helmet that has like, you know the Spartan helmets that they had, where it's got the giant fucking mane. I'll wear that as a color. Or a giant helmet, or Crusader helmet that has the colors of the.
Are you telling him
the
that?
clan.
Like,
No, it's yeah. Well, fuck it, yeah. I'll tell them that, and I'll tell you that.
not a very
50-50.
common practice to have the feathers on your helmet. But let's just make it through training first, okay?
Son, I've had more training than your entire army.
No, I understand you probably know how to fight. What I mean is training and etiquette. The way you need to be here. Respecting your leadership, respecting me, respecting the people who walk the very halls here. Being able to report anything nefarious and letting me know if there is activity or treason being committed within these walls.
I guess we could try.
Well, today is all about settling you in. So after we're done here, Ella will show you your room and your commodities, and we'll go from there.
Alright, sounds good.
The rest of that, breakfast kind of goes as is. There, you guys exchange stories. He tells you some jokes and kind of gets you comfortable. Eventually leading to the knight or the guard and Ella leading you out of where the hall is at toward the entrance of the castle, making a left and down the passage. I don't know if you've been toward the hospital wing and where all that is, but there's a left turn. I don't know if you're trying to retain anything, but that's why I'm explaining it to you. You notice that there is like a hospital wing, and there is like another set of stairs leading up to what you assume to be a tower. But they turn you left from this, and you go down a long passage. To the left, you see a door, seemingly like a large vault door. And to the in front of this vault door, you see that there are a couple of smaller doors. One of them hangs open, and you can see that there's someone inside with a bunch of like glass experimentation type stuff sitting on the table. They like peer up at you and notice you, and they like slam the door shut.
Rude.
Ella leads you on, and through another door, which is in another passage, You see up ahead that there is a similar like set of doors, reminiscent to the one to the shower rooms that you were just in, and you see that there's like soldiers coming in and out of there, either fully garbed or just in their towels, going back into their rooms. And Ella like nods her head at the guard and points you over to the left of where those soldiers are coming in and out of. And she says, "You're right in front of the soldiers' barracks, and these are one of the private rooms, and you'll be staying right next to our lord here." She takes you in, and the room is about maybe 20 feet by 20 feet. It has a very large bed at the center. There is a rack for weaponry along the side of the walls, along with odd paintings of landscapes and such. No windows or anything in this room. There's a chandelier that hangs off the ceiling, very old and rustic looking. It doesn't have anything lit at the moment. Ella has to actually light a lantern nearby, and she starts going along the walls to kind of make it comfortable. You notice that there's a small library of books, and there is a desk near the front of the door with a quill and paper and parchments on top of it. Some of them look like they've been used at some point, but kind of set aside with unfinished notes. She leads you over to the foot of the bed where there's a trunk there, and she pulls it open, and sure enough, inside you see all of your gear.
Nice.
She says, "I cleaned it all for you, and I made sure that all the drawers have fresh clothes, so if you need undershirts or anything like that, you should be set."
Thank you very much.
The guard clears his throat, and he says, "At all times you're to keep this room clean. In the mornings I will do inspections when I come to get you, and then we will walk the grounds after. There will be training with the others. Perhaps make yourself acquainted with the rest of the soldiers here."
Okay.
See you soon.
What time you waking me up? What time am I supposed to be up?
He looks at you and he says, 5 a.m. sharp.
Shit.
And you see him kind of step out and turn and leave you there with Ella. And she's just kind of leaning back and forth. Looks at you and she goes, "I'm so happy for you."
I'm happy to get out of that cell.
5 in the morning.
Question.
Suck, though.
Yeah, that's fine. Is there, by chance, any locks on the doors?
Yes. And at night they do
Okay.
patrol heavily, and they make sure that everyone stays in their bunkers. In fact, it could lead to punishment, corporal punishment, as they call it.
Okay, just making sure.
Just try to behave, okay?
I'll be fine.
Is there anything else that you might need?
No, I think I'm okay for now. If I need anything, I'll come get you.
I don't think any of them should be able to come in here, by the way. But if I hear
That's why I
anything,
asked
I'll let
about
you
the
know.
lock. Alright, I appreciate it.
I'll make sure to report anything I can, okay? But just,
Alrighty.
like I said, keep your head low. Don't get in trouble, and we'll figure out the rest. We're in it together now, right?
Of course we are.
She steps out of the room, looks back at you, and waves and pushes the door closed. You
I
don't
give a
hear a
little
latch or a
smile.
lock or anything like that, implying that you weren't locked inside. So,
Okay, as long as the lock's on my side, not her side.
there's definitely a lock on the other side, and you do see that you have a bolt on yours as well. But you do believe that, even if you locked it, they'd be able to get in, unlock it from their end or something like that.
I've now decided I'm going to reinforce the door.
So, in your time here, you kind of take in the room. Is there anything you want to set up here? Anything you want to do specifically?
First I'm going to... So it's still morning, so I'm gonna put on my armor. Just to get acquainted again with it, because, I need it.
Okay. As you kind of undress and start to redress, Boxy, right?
Yeah, Boxy.
You notice that Boxy is starting to kind of harden along your body.
Hmm.
And instead of being like this thick layer of flesh, it seems to kind of be flattening out against you. The face of it and the eye is still kind of like along your chest and stomach.
I tap up on my shoulder. Can he move his face, like his eyes and stuff, around the body, or is it like
Yeah.
fixed? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tap onto my shoulder to kind of bring his head up,
Like
so
you
he
see
can.
like the eyes like kind of wiggle and move on your chest, and then like they all blink
Yeah.
open and look up at you.
Yeah. Just want to make sure that he, is able to squeeze even out of the armor and look around if need be.
Yeah, like you see the eyes like kind of moving and trailing up your shoulder and kind of set up, and then it like pulls off just enough. But when it does, you do feel like a tug on your skin, and it stops like pulling away, almost like it's reaching a limit.
Okay. All right. That's enough.
Starts to rub its fleshy parts against you. But from there, like you dress up in your armor, right?
Yep.
Do you leave the room at all?
No, not for the time being.
Okay. So I mean, like you kind of settle in and you enjoy this morning in your new room.
Nice.
All right. So from there, LaFay. LaFay.
Yeah.
So the voice in your head was referring to you as the LaFay the Bloodstained. You can kind of make out Omen's voice next to you. Okay. LaFay, you okay? And like you're kind of back, you're there. You see the large, hulking man there, looking confused at you. Omen like seems very concerned. You all right? You kind of zoned out on us there.
No.
You need to talk a little louder. You're just a mumble right now.
Oh, she says no, like I'm not doing fine.
One more time. Sorry, guys.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Now. Yeah.
I said that she says no, like she's not doing, like she's not doing fine.
This is only going to get more complex, LaFay. You're going to have to like put a little more focus in. Okay? Where's your head at? There's got to be something familiar around here. What about the armor? And he's like referring to the armor pieces of the giant basically pointed out to you.
Yeah, she says, well, I did see something.
Okay.
I slaughtered all these people, and during remembering that, I heard a voice in my head.
So, you saw yourself slaughtering these people?
Yeah, they were innocent, and I just came by and killed them all.
And the voice, what did it sound like?
Sounded evil. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It doesn't sound like Tarzan, though. Sounds like a different person.
He starts like kind of looking around at the environment, seemingly trying to find a clue. The big guy's like kind of just looking at you. Starts speaking a little bit more, and like he's like really starts talking to you, but again, like you're not understanding what he's saying. What languages do you speak? Or no?
Let me go to Common, Elvish, Halfling, and Thieves' Cant.
Okay. So yeah, like, you'd have to like maybe do like an insight check.
I can do that. Insight, 19?
So with the 19, you're like kind of like watching his movements, the way he's expressing himself, and sometimes he's like pointing at the armor, pointing at you, and he starts going like this with his hands, and you realize that it's like almost like he's motioning that it was you, but like he starts going like this.
Hard to, again, I can't really see. I'm guessing he's saying it's not you at the same time.
Yeah,
Like, it's you, but it's not you.
I'm trying to like show you how he's motioning to you and how he's trying to imply something to you. So like he starts like kind of making a stabbing motion, a slitting motion, and then he raises his arms like he's flying up into the air, and he starts batting his arms like a wing, and he's like kind of like boasting you about something, and he seems pretty excited to talk about it. And then like he kind of goes like this, like he's afraid of something, and he like looks at you, claps you on the arm, and Omen's just off. What about that kid? Did you recognize them? And like nothing comes to mind. You don't necessarily recognize them.
Yeah, she tells him, I don't recognize the kid at all. I just figure maybe she would know something about what happened at the docks.
Okay, so yeah, and with the guy like kind of showing hand signals and stuff like that, like did you kind of put anything together with that?
Like, look at him, and she'll be like, and she'll just say, so it was me, but it wasn't me.
Mm-hmm.
And you said something about flying.
Starts waving his arms like flying.
She points at herself. Was it me flying?
Like saying yes.
Had wings or no wings?
He like points off, like kind of like in the northern direction, and he goes like this. And keeps batting his wings in that direction.
She go there.
He just shrugs like he doesn't know. Omen kind of like walks over to you. This is useless. This guy can't even speak common.
No, I'm catching on to what he's saying.
Oh yeah?
A little hard, but something, yeah.
So what are we doing?
Well, he did say that I did do this, but it wasn't me. Like, I wasn't in control. And he said blue, and she points over to like the north, where he was pointing over there. Maybe there's something out there that might trigger something.
He like looks in that direction, looks at the big guy, looks at you. Alright. You know we only got 30 days, right?
No.
Alright, let's go. And Omen kind of like starts walking off in that direction. The big guy like seemingly wants to follow, but he like stops and looks back towards like where the town is and then back at you. Kind of looking ashamed and scared almost.
She like stopped. You don't have to come with us if you don't want to. I understand you're scared.
He like
I don't want to put you in a
smiles,
uncomfortable position.
Smiles sheepishly, lumbers over to you and gives you a hug, pats you on the head, and waves. Then just like walks back toward the town. LaFay, come on!
She's gonna wave hi, and she's gonna jog on over to.
So you guys kind of begin this journey again. Like it would be like early morning from where like everybody else started. You're transitioning this time. 30 minutes turns into an hour of travel, and you guys are out there, and Omen's like kind of looking around and realizing he's just like, man, this island's a lot bigger than we actually think it is, isn't it? It's very lush.
We've been this far.
This is technically only the first time I've been here. I'm just using public record of things in time and the timeline that are similar to what's happening to you. But we never know the outcome exactly of where you end up.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. Some places do seem a little like unfamiliar.
Well, maybe whatever is here, whatever happened, is just blocking your mind and clouding it. Like all that. And he like slows down, and you guys realize that the sunny brightness from before has slowly turned into this gray scale misty part of the island. And he's like looking around, and he goes, where are we? Are we back in Mudlock? And like you notice that he looks kind of scared. Your friend said this is the way?
Yeah, he said up north.
Alright,
He
that's
did
it.
seem a little scared about it.
I'm calling Jim. And he turns away from you, and he like starts to fiddle with his ring. Make your perception check.
14.
So with a 14, you leave him to it. You're kind of looking around, and way further out, you don't see a whole lot of trees. It's very sparse here, very like dirt covered grounds. There's not a whole lot of like life growing from it. You notice that like where the clouds are kind of like the thickest, you notice these like stone pillars out in the distance. Maybe you're over 80 feet out from where you're standing, and you notice that there is a black shadow walking between them, seemingly looking towards you, turning, and then like disappearing further in.
She's
This damn
gonna
thing.
she's gonna like grab Omen's.
Huh? What?
Something's here.
Yeah, something's wrong with my ring.
No. There's someone's here. There's a shadow.
He like reaches behind his back and pulls out his mace.
She's gonna take out her sword. You think back to back would help?
Something's interfering with my ring. I gotta figure out what it is.
Maybe it's that shadow. Maybe they casted something. Maybe it's this.
Well, maybe you're the only one that saw it, so I'll follow your lead. Let's go check it out.
Alright, just check your back as well. Or watch your back. Watch your back.
So as the two of you kind of move in unison, the clouds around you, like the mist, is like getting very thick. You don't hear anything or see anything, but the closer you get to where you saw that shadow, you see that there's these large stone pillars kind of sticking out of the ground, and you realize that there's rubble and stuff like that laid before you. Like these used to be these stone monuments or these buildings and structures, right? Looking around, Omen's just like, how long could these have been here? They almost look like they're ancient. Very interesting. You see the shadow at all?
Just gonna look around.
Make a perception check.
28.
Alright. So with a 28, you are looking in the direction that you saw the shadow head into, and then kind of off to the left of that direction, you notice that a head peeks around the corner. And again, like, it's just the shadowy void looking at you, and then it turns and, like, runs off in that direction. And you hear it kind of go,
Oh.
Omen just goes, oh, hell no. He's like rubbing the ring. Jim, I could use you right now. And as you guys kind of get closer and closer to where you saw that, you notice the mist kind of like, the ground's kind of dipped down, and the mist kind of clears up a little bit here. And there's like a kind of slight glow, as if a singular piece of light is being let through this cloud field. And as you step over and you can see into this open area, you can see that there's a bunch of pillars leading up to what looks like a very familiar gazebo built of stone. You recall having seen a gazebo like this a very long time ago on the island of Detriment, when you had journeyed with Johnny off island and you saw the giant statue come out of the earth. At its center was standing a gazebo similar to this one, and you recall that there was demonic entities surrounding it as well. The aura here is changed, and you do feel like when you were back in Mudlock, and you feel like this ominous presence lingering in the air, this energy of sinister. And we're going to take a quick break here. Yeah, we're going to take a quick break here. I got to use the restroom really bad if anybody needs to take care of their stuff. And then when we come back, LaFay, we're going to pick up with you, okay? Alright, guys?
Okay.
Alright, we're going to pick up with you, so be ready. I'd say 15 minutes good, guys?
Yeah.
Alright. Be right back. All right, and we're back, guys. How we doing? How we doing? I hope we had a good break. All right, LaFay, you came out to this clearing with a bunch of old ruins, and at the center was a gazebo. Again, similar to the one that you saw on the Island of Detriment when you traveled with Johnny so long ago. Do you remember that?
I don't remember the Johnny one, but it's been a while.
It has. But your character should know that last time you were near something like this, it didn't end very well. And with the aura and the feeling around you, even Omen's kind of like feeling a little uneasy next to you.
Yeah.
You still see your shadow friend?
Well, I did see her before they made that creepy laugh. She's gonna look around again.
What was your role earlier?
It was a 28, I believe.
Yeah, it was a 28. Are you advancing on the gazebo?
Yeah.
What's your movement speed? 30 feet, right?
35 feet.
So as you kind of move in, about 10 feet in, using your perception from earlier, not only did you notice the shadowy figure kind of running toward the gazebo, you notice that like there are seemingly what looks like these like mounds on top of two of the pillars in that direction. They look like they're like seemingly like humanoids, like hunched over, kind of using the pillars to hide, but like your keen eye spotted them pretty easily.
She's gonna get Omen's attention, point them out, letting him know about like it looks like they're like hunched over.
Yeah, he looks over and he says, "Better hang back. My armor's just gonna make a bunch of noise. Or maybe I can distract them, get their attention."
Well, what if they're she looks at him, what if they're like armored up? Like what if they have weapons and stuff ready?
Well, we have weapons too. And if you spotted them before they spotted us, I just gotta stay out of the way. So how do you want to do this?
Well, we can try and sneak up to the gazebo.
Make a stealth check. Are you implying that he needs to sneak around too? Or are you going ahead?
She's gonna go ahead. 22.
So as you kind of move ahead, you are keeping your eyes on the figures sneaking around the pillars, right? Omen like hangs back, kind of having his weapon at the ready. Um, Now kind of closing the distance, you're about 25 feet from the two figures. They're like standing upon the pillar, kind of looking around. You finally realize that their faces are covered, and they have like this like kind of glow to their eyes. So when like they turn, seemingly almost looking at you directly, the eyes are like peering over your head, and you realize they kind of glow this reddish orange color.
I do not like that. um, they're just like humanoid. There's no like wings or anything on them.
And as far as you can tell, you do see that they have weapons in their hands drawn.
She's gonna try again to like sneak past him.
Go ahead and make a stealth check again.
28.
Yeah, you move in. Are you trying to close the gap towards them, or are you headed towards the gazebo?
The gazebo.
As you approach the gazebo, you feel this emanating strength kind of like coming from it. Go ahead and make a perception check.
21.
So with a 21, let's see here. So you look ahead, and between like the poles of the gazebo, just beyond it, you can see that there's a little shack, and you can hear like a river kind of running off in the distance, and you see that there's the boat of that little girl that you saw before, floating not too far out, maybe about 80 feet out in that direction. But as you step into the gazebo, you stop, and you look up, and you see that sticking to the ceiling is this leather-clad warrior with the same glowing eyes. They widen as you see them, and they leap in your direction. Go ahead and roll initiative.
Shoot. 20.
Bear with me here. Holy shit.
I did not like that.
Alright, so you will go first. Alright, so top of the order, LaFay, you're gonna go ahead.
Okay. Gonna try and she has the sword, so she's gonna try to like slash at him. And 14.
14 to hit.
Yeah.
14 just misses. The combatant closing in on you lands before you and is going to make an attack. 16 to hit.
Misses.
Okay. And from there... you hear Omen shout out from outside, "Oh, fuck it. Get over here." And you don't see it from where you're at, but you hear like the clash of steel, and Omen like seemingly like struggling and fighting with one of the assailants that you spotted outside. The assassin that leapt off of the gazebo ceiling continues an assault on you. And I guess that doesn't work. There's Kai. 24 to hit.
It's
Are you wearing anything that would make it difficult to hit you?
she's wearing a dissonant cloak. I'm not sure if that'll or did this cloak of dissonant, I think.
Only you're gonna know that.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, she has that on.
Okay, so what does it do?
Wait, 1 second. It projects an illusion that makes you appear to be standing in a place near your actual location, causing any creature to have disadvantage on attack rolls against you.
22 to hit then.
Hits.
Alright,
Yeah.
so with that hit, you take 8 points of piercing damage. And then make a Constitution saving throw.
Two.
So with that, you're going to take 24 points of poison damage. You got that?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
And then take an additional 14 points of piercing damage. Or just damage, actually. And then from there, you hear, make a perception check for me.
$28.
And actually, regain 14 points. I miscalculated something, so you're good. So add 14
Regain
back.
14
Yeah,
points.
put 14 back because I did something wrong there. And then what was your perception check there?
28.
Solid. You hear as the assailant is running up from behind you, kind of running out of the mist and into the gazebo, and they're going to take an attack on you. I don't think a 7 hits, and I don't think an 18 is going to hit either.
Nope.
And it goes back up to you. You got one assailant, seemingly a little smaller than the main one you're facing in the gazebo. The one in the gazebo, they have like multiple knives going across your chest and an assortment of weaponry on their side. They even have a cutlass hanging off of the back of their hip. And they too have the hoodie with the cover over their face.
Gotcha. She's gonna take a skill piercer.
Okay. And remember, they're both like right up next to you, so you have disadvantage on shots with Scale Piercer.
Okay. 20 hit?
On which one?
One of the small ones.
The one that came up behind you?
Yeah.
Hits, roll damage.
Carvers.
You don't do your sneak attack damage, just so you know.
Yeah.
So,
25.
25 points. You turn, you take aim, and you shoot, and the arrow goes straight through the guy, and they're like falls to their knees and just like clutching at their chest. Their eyes like bulged and looking at you like, holy fuck. And then you see a spark of fire kind of like rising from their wound, similar to the green flames that you've seen before. That's your attack. What do you got? You got anything else?
Can she, forgot what it's called, like where she runs off. Like this, disengage, I think it's called.
I think that's an action, right? To disengage?
Huh?
It's an
Yeah.
action to disengage, right?
For rogues, they can do it as a bonus action.
You can do it as a bonus action? Okay, yeah. You can disengage from both of them.
But then that means they can't.
Yeah, she's gonna disengage and she's
They
gonna
can't
go
what?
back to,
That means they can't. But if they disengage, then that means they can't use their bonus action to hide after.
Yeah, you would just be using it to disengage from the target.
Yeah.
And then which way are you
Yeah.
moving?
she's running back to Omen.
Okay. Full speed, 30 feet. Make it out of the gazebo. And you can kind of make out about 10 feet away, Omen is engaged with that other assailant that you spotted.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, Omen takes a swing. He swings and hits the spy across the face, and when they try to raise their blade and like defend themselves, he comes back again and like crushes the other side of their face, and you hear the neck snap as it twists around and they fall dead on the ground. Huh?
I said, dang, like, ow. When she goes up to him, she's gonna like tell him like, heads up, there's more coming.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
"28."
You say this, and then you hear like a, and you turn around and you see that that assassin, the lead one, they run, and you see their eyes in the mist leap up, grab onto the wall, turn, and they go to stab down on you. But because you see them coming, they don't get the sneak attack off. Don't assume a 20 hits you. And I don't assume that hits. 2 misses as the assailant comes
my
at you
armor.
again. Huh?
The 20 is my armor.
So it's just hits. That's how we've been treating it,
Yeah.
right? Exact hit, exact number, and that's a hit. Yeah, we've been treating it like that for a while now.
Yeah.
So that's how we're gonna do it. All right, so that one does hit you. Let's see, it's a D6. 8 points of piercing damage, and then make a Constitution saving throw. You're good on that one. The assailant, looking at you, gets ready, to engage. Omen doesn't see it coming as the other assassin runs up on him and stabs him across the back, and he lets out a scream, turns around and swings his maul at her, and she just kind of dodges it and engages with him, but then just seemingly vanishes, and he's just like, God damn it, seemingly getting frustrated. But it goes back up to you.
Scale pierce. Let's see. I don't think a 16 hits. Oh no.
16 on the main assassin, or
the other one, the one that stabbed Omen.
okay. You'd have to make a perception check first to successfully hit it.
Oh,
you cannot see it at the moment.
Let me get it. 13.
You do see it off to the left of Omen, kind of moving behind, getting ready to move behind a pillar. So then your attack was a 18. 18 does hit. Go ahead and calculate your damage.
Uh, 21.
21 points of damage.
Yes.
You open fire, and you see the blood spray out as you hit it across the shoulder, and take cover behind the pillar. And then what are you doing next?
He's gonna kind of go back to back with Omen.
Are you so your bonus action disengaging from the assassin? Because there's still an assassin next to you. You cut out really bad.
Yeah, sorry.
You cut out really
Yeah,
bad.
she disengages. I'm sorry.
Okay. So going to stand next to Omen. Omen's looking off and I can see them now. I'm gonna hit him so hard. And he charges forth, takes his swing. Successful. It's not successful. So with the first swing, the assailant, you see their hands come up, and then the maul just kind of goes, woof, and you see the splat from the side of the pillars as he crushes their head as well. Then he turns his attention towards the other one, and he kind of readies his weapon. And then from there, The other assailant begins to move away from you guys, kind of backing away, back towards the gazebo. Go ahead and make perception checks if you'd like to see if you can spot him as he disappears.
14.
So the 14, you don't spot him, but Omen like kind of strains his eyes, and like they're moving back into the gazebo. Did you see anything while you were there? Anything inside? Valuable?
I did see the same boat from before.
You mean that girl that's in the gazebo?
Yeah, I think she died with us.
Alright. You keep to your stealth thing. Try to go around and get this guy. I'm going to charge right at them. You ready?
Yeah, just be careful.
So, Omen charges forth, raising his maul up, and he says, "Enjoy the daylight, fucker!" And suddenly the gazebo lights up with a bright light, and you can hear the assailant shouting from inside. And
Like a screaming noise?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Let's see. Once like the light clears out, you can see like they're like rippling in some flames, like trying to put them out, shaking it off. And then from there, it goes over to their turn. They're gonna charge forth at Omen. Completely missed that. Holy shit!
They missed?
Not only did they miss, they got net ones. So with every miss, Omen sidesteps, smacks him across the back, and they like go again, and he like smacks him across the chest. And you can see like blood like spraying in every direction as he does this. Yeah, not hiding so much anymore, are you, fuckers? LaFay, now! And it goes over to your turn.
She's gonna point spell piercer at the main assassin, like the
Are you sneaking at all?
first one that she. Yeah.
Alright, so go ahead and roll stealth. Yeah.
21.
Alright, so you do have the sneak attack advantage on this, as the assailant is too distracted with Omen. So distracted they got an 11 on their perception roll.
18?
18 to hit.
Yeah.
18 hits. What you got?
26 points of damage.
So yeah, the arrow again goes straight through them, and like they have this look of shock. Omen, kind of seeing this opportunity, raises his maul again. Let's see if that one's enough. Yeah, he strikes the dude across the face, and when he goes to like try to finish him, the guy like just like stumbles back as if like trying to dodge, but just kind of ended up kind of like taking a couple steps away instead. Just not necessarily in his right mind, as you can see that they're bleeding out of the wounds that they just got. And then it goes over to your turn.
She's going to use Scale Piercer again.
Alright.
And an 18
18 hits.
to hit.
And with an 18, you let the arrow fly. It goes straight through their left eye, and their body twists and falls over dead.
Oh, dang. Right through the eye. I was about to hit. I just rolled damage, but okay. I'll say they have like a 15 plus a lot of stuff.
Omen looks back at you and he says, I had that. But he like pushes ahead and just starts like looking around. Kind of moving toward the gazebo now. What do you do?
Real quick, can she like, does she have like, can she like fully see the guy's face, the one that she killed?
Like it's still covered with like the shawl on the face. So if you want to like pull it, yeah.
Yeah, she wants to pull it to see
You
if maybe like.
you see that they are an elven warrior of some kind. No one familiar in particular. The eyes that were glowing before like have dimmed out, and they have like this emerald greenness to them. But like even that's kind of like leaving this dead body now.
She's gonna go to Omen now, to the gazebo.
So with you and Omen now there, he like looks out and further north of it, and he's just like, "Hey, LaFay, we really got to talk about your perception skills.
What's wrong with that?
You said the girl was here. I thought like you literally put the boat in this thing, the way you described it."
She like points to like the water, like right over there.
Yeah, over there. This is the gazebo here. You see what I'm saying? You made it seem like she parked the boat. Never mind. And he just starts looking around, and at the center of the gazebo, like on the ground, it's very similar to the design that was on the island. This one has like a white sand, almost like play sand, covering the ground. And he's looking around at it. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Mm-hmm. 6.
With an investigation, you got a 6?
Yeah.
So you see that like along the top of the gazebo, there's like drawings and like not necessarily drawings, but like carvings of what looks like these otherworldly languages, and yeah, even Omen's kind of like trying to decipher them. He's like, no, I'd say these almost look infernal. Unfortunately,
You
I
have like
can't read them.
you have like a piece of paper or anything we can write it down. Hopefully, you can find someone that could help translate these.
You're telling me you didn't bring anything to write down? Come on. Your bag has to have something in it.
It's just go.
So as you're kind of like digging through the bag, you can make a perception check here if you'd like.
18.
So you're going through the bag, you find some like some parchment and some quill, and you like look up to start drawing, but you catch like off in that direction where the boat was sitting. The girl is like standing behind a tree, kind of looking off in your direction.
She's gonna like kind of whisper. And she's gonna like kind of like gesture like with her eyes, like, look.
Omen looks over. Hi, hello. Can we help you, little girl? And like the girl just kind of like backs away and like runs back toward the little hut. And Omen just shakes his head. Why the hell is there just some little kid out here? Make sure to write all these down. I'm sure Jim or maybe Cathris can decipher them for us.
And she'll start writing the whole thing.
Alright. So as you're doing that, Edard. The time had passed, and eventually Ona and Brian had woken up, met their new companion, reconvened with Queenie. Ona's all excited. She's riding atop of Queenie, and you guys are like in the brush of the woods here. Brian is like kind of hanging back, and Brian like has been eyeballing the princess for a good minute now, just like mean mugging, looking around, mean mugging. And she just has this like elegant walk about her, even though her armor like kind of.
Okay.
It's very beautiful out here. Very lush. It must be nice not to have monstrosities chasing you every other day.
Oh no, there are definitely monstrosities here. It's just not here right now.
Ona chimes up. Sometimes there's giant creatures that burrow in the ground. Sometimes they steal from you in the night, or sometimes they steal you in the night, or some like to just possess you.
Yeah, that's becoming very common now.
What kind of monster are you? Says Brian, with their maul in hand. And Sidar looks back at Brian, just smiles. I'm not a monster. Yeah? How do we know? Where do you come from? Some faraway place? Talking about killing some folk? I don't mind the killing part. It can be fun pastime. But I don't know. I just don't know. Do they have some sort of vitamin deficiency? The fuck do you mean by that?
Don't take it too hard right now. Brian is just cautious of new people, which can't blame him really. Like, we don't really know anything about you.
I suppose that's fair. I am Princess Star of Macedonia, an island north of, I believe they called it Dragonhead, also called their own island Archimadona. Foolish people, not knowing that we were part of a larger place, and not just a simple little island as they so established themselves on. The point is, the Bloodstream family, they came and took what wasn't theirs.
We're still walking, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They took what wasn't theirs, traveled across the great waters, invaded my city, claimed to be friends, and when the short one they call the Hand, is that what you guys call your best warrior?
No, that's usually like right hand person for the king.
We call them our best warriors.
Oh,
I have a
okay.
whole army of them at my back, not just at my right hand.
Not literal, but okay, I understand. Yep.
Please, forgive my ignorance.
It's okay. Where did you say that you last saw this group of people again?
We've been out here for a couple hours, and the trail seems fresh here. And she leans down, she's just staring at grass. And Brian's just like, it's grass, stupid. It's just grass. And no one starts arguing with Brian. Hey, she's not stupid. She's like a fairy princess in a new land. And Sidar sits up straight ahead. 100 feet. We're not far. Can you hear them?
Can I hear or smell anything?
I mean, with a perception check, you're not too far off.
Want me to do the
Yeah,
advantage, disadvantage?
advantage. You're good.
I mean, you don't have to just ask just in case you want.
I think at this point we're implying that Eddard has that sense to be able to perceive.
Okay.
17.
So yeah, with a 17, you're perking up your ears, and then you get the musky smell of dog fur, and you can kind of hear a quiet.
I got them. We have to move fast.
And she pulls her sword, and again you see the multicolored layers through it, and she's just kind of looking at you why must we wait?
I kind of pick up Ona so that her on top of Queenie.
Oh, she's been on top of Queenie. You're good. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Completely went over my head then. Sorry, I'm going.
You're good.
I'm pretty tired right now.
You're good.
You go up high. We're gonna go straight at them.
Okay. When do I attack? Do I wait for you?
Whatever feels right with you. Okay.
Okay. She steers Queenie off, and they take off into the air. Brian's just you want to throw me at him?
We'll see what happens.
All right. I'm pretty light. Wouldn't mind if you cop the field too. Not you. Looks right up at Sidar, and Sidar's just cop a feel. What does that mean?
Don't worry about it. Let's just go get the wolves. Come on. Start running over there.
So no stealth. You guys are just charging in.
Well, kind of running into that direction, then slowing down once you get close enough.
All right. Go ahead and make stealth checks. God, the villains are all rolling shit today.
18.
You're good. All of you are good, actually.
Even the griffins.
No, Queenie's not making noise, but they're definitely
Yeah, I know.
kind of out and about in the air. You can see them slightly between the trees every once in a while. But again, you hear more of that odd, unfamiliar language, and Sidar kind of leaning in. She's like, traitors, abandoning their posts the way they did, taking things that don't belong to them.
How many are we saying right now?
There's 4 of them, and when you guys kind of inch in a little bit more, you can see that it's a dip in the land, and this little pocket where they've like contracted, like kind of built up like this series of layers of logs and stuff to kind of build a ramshackle cage. And sure enough, inside you see the wolves like Bullet is like standing up, like growling, and Window Licker's right next to him, like also growling, his tongue kind of hanging off to the side. And you notice that Crag is laying on their side behind them. The Archimedonians that you see, they're completely stripped down, aside from like their undergarments. There's 3 large, like sized men, and then there's like one woman who's very, very short. And if you've ever seen the Crudes, they kind of look like them.
Okay.
Yeah, that's essentially like what you're looking at when you look at an Archimedonian.
I kind of
Except
turn
for
toward Goblin for a moment. You say you want to get thrown at them?
I don't mind getting picked up like a ball and thrown in. Man, a dunk. I tried to make that sound cool, but it sounds so stupid coming out of my mouth. Sorry. I'll shut up now.
Alright, let's see how this goes.
You're just gonna throw me?
Yeah, we're gonna give it a shot.
Alright, here we go.
What am I rolling?
Just roll a strength, like with your d20.
They really want to get thrown. So. Strength, you said?
Yep.
Better tries to like pick up Goblin for a moment. It's like, no, not happening.
What do you mean? I was all prepped and ready. Sidar, like
I rolled a 4.
Sidar. Oh well, then you have to go through with it. No, do it. Throw me.
Okay.
Yeah, you pick them up, you throw, but like it's not as much force as you expected it to be. And instead, they like fly up, hit the ground, and then they roll down into the pocket. The Archimedonians start pointing at them, like pull their weapons, and they're looking around all confused. And Sidar is just like, there's many ways we could have done that, and that was definitely not it.
Oh no, I know. Well, they wanted to get thrown, so that's what happened.
And
Yep.
they start shouting in, and like surrounding Goblin, and like 2 of them pick him up easily. Like
So they came in close to Goblin.
yeah.
You said it was like a dip down?
Yeah, it dips down. I would say it's about like 30 feet.
I'm gonna step back a bit and jump down on top of them if I can, take attack.
Okay. Jumping down on top of them. Go ahead and make your attack on one of them if you'd like.
Would this count as sneaking in any way, or no?
Yeah, do it with advantage and. Yeah, they don't see you coming. They're like kind of looking around wildly, but they don't expect to see you from where you're coming from.
So 19 plus 10, so it's a total 29.
So yeah, you come down and like one of the larger guys looks up at you and sees you as you're brandishing your blade. You swing down. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Do you want me to keep the force damage separate whenever I roll?
Yeah, that way I can differentiate if there is resistances and stuff like that.
Okay. So for the slashing damage. Uh,
12 slashing damage.
And so yeah, you come down, you plant it right into their shoulder blade, and you bring it down, and they like instantly die from this impact. The one behind you is just like
Then also just because it's also an extra 9 force damage there.
yeah, and like seeing with the impact, like the woman like lets go of or steps away from you, and the other two let go of Goblin, and they're just like shouting out like in freaked out by what just happened. But before they have a moment, she leaps down and runs the blade to the back of one of the guys, and then just pulls it out, and he falls dead. So then there's two of them, and they like raise their hands and drop their weapons, immediately dropping to their knees before her, and they like put their heads down to the ground, and they're like, "Would you suspect to be like begging?"
Okay, so I think we're kind of done here. We don't need to kill them.
Why not?
They gave up.
And like she starts to talk to them in their language, and they're looking up, going like this, like pleading with her.
Do I catch anything for the giant stuff?
You can try to do insight with disadvantage.
Four.
Yeah, you're not entirely getting anything out of the woman who's pleading, and Sidar like lines the blade up with the top of their head and looks at you and says, "By law, this is what must be done."
That's by law in your lands, but these aren't your lands.
She looks down at them.
Wouldn't it make more sense to keep your people alive while you're on foreign soil?
They abandoned my army, trying to seek a life here, when we came here to do a job. And they like begin to plead even more, like, make a persuasion check.
Natural 20 for a total 28.
Give her a good speech, bro. It ain't that easy.
No.
That's obviously a successful roll, so.
Just keep them alive as prisoners if you have to. Just show them that you can be merciful at times. I don't really know. This is the first time I even encountered any of your people.
People take advantage of kindness, you know. She starts to speak to them in their language, and they look to you, and they're just like pleading and thanking you almost. And she's the blade, and she seems to kind of stop and look at it for a moment. Ona swoops down on Queenie. It immediately hops off and runs over to the cage, and you see Window Licker looking through the cage as best he can, not even reaching her, just like tongue like flapping around between the bars. But she like starts to pull on a log. Help me, help me. Goblin's just like, all right, I got this.
Edward's still kind of staying close toward where Archmagedonians are, because he's not sure like entirely what could come up from this right now.
So, as they as Ona like opens the cage with Goblin, the wolves kind of like duck out and they start licking and jumping on top of Ona, and Ona's like giggling and laughing. Bullet like kind of steps out like halfway, and is just kind of like.
I'm going to assume everything's okay here. You're not going to kill them?
I have more words to ask them, like the fate of my pet. And then she starts to talk to them directly, and at this point she's kind of like ignoring you and the rest of what's going on, and she's like basically what looks like interrogating them. and they're just like,
Alright, I'll leave her to that then. I'll go check on the wolves.
so the bullet, like, kind of comes up to you and nudges you, and Ona gets up from window liquor, and like goes into the cage and starts looking at Craig. No, you okay?
How's Craig doing?
He's really hurt. They might have attacked him. Be okay. She like puts her hands over him and she begins to pray, and you see like a small glow kind of emanating from her. And then Craig like kind of like wiggles, turns his head and licks her across the face. And like she like jumps on him and hugs him tight. Well, that's a relief. A ride back home. One for each of us. Hey, where'd that crazy bitch go?
What?
And when you turn, you see that like one of the guys is like the male is like still there, like with his arms bound, and he's like looking off, kind of in like the north or southwest direction, like of the woods, and it's kind of going past the dip where you guys had just encountered their group. Yeah, you don't see her and the other Archimedonian.
Okay.
You go. I'll keep an eye on this fucker. You are a fucker, right? And the guy's just like confused.
Gotta toss him some jerky. Go to follow.
And like scarfs that thing. Here, have some water. And you kind of head off in the direction he was looking, right? You see that like this like hill kind of starts to go up, kind of ascending, and near the top, the trees here kind of like grow sparse, and you see that she's standing up there with the female Archimedonian, and she has her blade like at her side, and she's like holding the Archimedonian by the collar. She's like interrogating her seemingly.
I'm guessing you're having trouble finding your pet? As I kind of just slowly walking up.
She like lets go of the Archimedonian and looks at you, and you notice that the blade is like shimmering, and it's like every time it shimmers, you notice that it goes from the multicolors to like this black. And she says, apparently not too far from here there's a cave. They abandoned her there. After they used her. And the Archimedonian like raises their hands and bows their heads. This sort of thing would be a public execution back at home. Pitiful. And she spits on her. Our customs are different, but my pet is also my friend. My best friend.
I can understand that. That's the same way I feel with Queenie and my friends with their wolves.
If I don't find them soon, then I would truly be responsible.
Which cave did they say they left it? They kind of go up to stand with her onto that ridge there.
She like points out, and maybe about another day's like travel, you can see that there's like this stone slab rock that juts out of the earth, and there's like a crack on top of it with a hole. And she's like pointing at it, and she says,
Does that area look familiar?
yes.
And what's the pet we're looking for?
It's a night fury. And she like starts to kind of walk off in that direction. Stops. Looks at the Archimedonian. Well, come on then.
Do I know what a Night Fury is in this world? Or
You can ask her.
a Night Fury?
Oh, similar to a black dragon. Smaller. Faster. Truly loyal.
So the Archimedonians are How to Train Your Dragons.
She like stops and looks back up at you. Any chance I could at least borrow one of your wolves? I did think my friend was dead all this time. Or you can come with me, and we'll be back before the next day.
You and I will take Queenie. The rest of them, they have to take the wolves somewhere safe.
Can you fit this one? And like she shoves the Archimedonian down on their knees, and they're just like fall face first in the dirt.
I should be able to carry her too, yeah.
Then let's do it then.
We inform everyone else.
So, as you go off to do this, Zoe.
She is kaput. I am almost kaput.
Gotcha. That gives me a good status of what's going on.
It is 12. I do have to wake up.
In that case, what I'll do, instead of doing Zoe here, we'll pick up with her next time. Hugh, you still in it? Hugh, you still in it? Are you there? Damn, everybody fell asleep.
You?
Alright guys, it's kind of an awkward ending, but we'll cut it from there. We'll pick up from Zoe's perspective next session, so just let her know that I'll be in touch with her about that.
Okay.
LaFay, put a little more thought into what's happened so far. Hugh, I got some stuff for you, but if you're asleep, then we'll find out next time. Viewers, I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. I hope you have a good rest of your weekend.